You're very welcome back. Now, our next guest started using sunbeds back in the 90s, and during 12 years of regular use, began to realise some of the negative effects it was having on her skin.
Joining us to share her story is Kerry-Ann McDonald alongside dermatologist Dr. Isabel Hughes. Thank you both so much for being here. It's lovely to have you. And Kerry-Ann, you've got that, like, you know, you've got a tan. Like, people at home are going, that girl has a tan. But when did you start using sunbeds? What was your situation? How often were you using them?
Well, I first started out using sunbeds when I became a fitness trainer back in the 1990s. And back then, it was about looking good. Image was important. And, you know, the tan would make you feel confident as well. Now, when I started as a trainer in the industry, in a new gym that had just opened in town. So it was a popular place, so everyone was around, you know. Yeah. And we had a sunbed on our facility, and like loads of people were using it, men and women, you know. So sure, I had to follow the trend, you know. And looking back, I mean, I was a totally different person. I was pale-skinned, fair-skinned, freckles, you know, strawberry blonde, you know. So I was the complete opposite of how people looked in the industry, you know.
Okay.
So, yeah, so I quickly took to the sunbed, starting out with 5 minutes and maybe 3 times a week, you know, and then it gradually built on then to maybe 6 minutes, 8 minutes, 10 minutes. And then over the years then, it ended up being about 20 minutes. Now, not 3 times a week, maybe on the 20 minutes, certainly 2, you know, and it just took its time to build up the tan.
So it would have been 20 minutes ago,
yes.
and up to 3, probably more times a week.
Yeah.
But this is back in the 90s, as you say, sunbeds were everywhere.
Yes,
even in the
were.
noughties, sunbed shops were everywhere.
Yeah, but the knowledge wasn't there then to what it is now, you know. I mean, our parents, you know, we've all had it, you know, out all day in the sun, you know, putting on the oil. And when I was 16, I was running in the community games, and sure, I used to come home scalded. There was no such thing as skin or sunscreen, you know. It was like...
It's come on massively since then.
Yes.
But tell us, though, when did you start to realise something wasn't right?
When I came home from my last holiday with the girls in about 2010, I had a mark on my leg and it wouldn't heal over. So I left it for a little while, hoping it would heal. And then eventually I went to the doctor and discovered then it was an ulcer. So I had that removed. And from there then, I still went back on the sunbed. Didn't learn my lesson that time.
Yeah.
So another one appeared on my boob, and then had to have that checked out. And then to discover, they put a big needle down into my armpit with dye to check to see if that was cancerous. But thankfully it wasn't, so I had that removed. And it was then that I learned it's time to, you know, change things, you know.
And did you give it up then?
Oh, I did.
You gave it up then?
Oh, I gave it up
then.
You
were done?
Yes, yes. So that would have been about 2012.
An ulcer, like Isabel. I remember this was the big talking point. You know, when I was like in the 2010s, the noughties and 2010s.
Yeah.
Like a friend of mine came home from holiday, she went straight onto a sunbed. We'd just been in Gran Canaria for 2 weeks. You know what I mean? But we thought we'd learned our lessons.
Yeah.
I don't think that we have. People are still tanning this way, right?
Unfortunately, yes, it's still very common and it's so horribly dangerous. It's basically a massive source of ultraviolet radiation. You're radiating your skin. That causes damage to the cells, damage to the DNA, and in response to that, our body produces tan. So, and of course, that damage increases our risk for developing skin cancers.
Yeah.
How do you spot these? Are they able to be spotted, all different forms of skin
Absolutely.
cancers?
So at home, the things you want to be looking out for are, like what Kerry-Ann said, ulcers that don't heal, sores that don't heal, spots that are coming up that are new, spots that are changing. We like to go by the ABCDE rule you might have heard of. So you're looking for lesions that are asymmetrical, that have irregular borders, C, lots of colours, colour variation, D, diameter for over 6 millimetres, and then E is the real big one, evolution, so things that are changing.
Okay, and do you think, Isabel, like honestly, we thought we were like all these legislations banning sunbeds. You remember you used to go to video shops and there'd be a sunbed there. Like, are you seeing people getting skin damage from sunbeds
Every single day, you know, every single day.
Is it older people who have been using it, like my generation, or is it younger people that are starting
younger
again?
Younger people also, yeah. And the scary thing is that the younger you are, the more damage you can do. So the higher the risk.
Yeah.
And we're seeing young people come into our clinic with skin cancers. And melanoma, our most deadly form of skin cancer, is life-threatening, can be life-threatening, spread to the brain, the lungs, the liver.
Kerry-Ann, you had an awful lot of moles removed
I
from
just
this.
had, on Good Friday, I had my 19th lesion removed. You know, so I've had quite a few. Now, they have been the BCCs, the basal cell carcinomas, and they're actually they're the most common but the least aggressive of skin cancers. Now, that said, skin damage leads to the basal cell carcinomas, and if they're not, they do grow deeper if not removed. Okay. So, and they're really caused from overuse of UV and UV light sunbeds and overuse in the sun as well, you know. But I've had quite a few of the BCCs. Then I've had the cryo treatment done, which is the nitrogen freeze, and I've had light treatment done as well. So I've had quite a few.
So this is this going to be your life? Like you're mole mapping, you're looking all of the time.
And that's why I wanted to wear the shorts so people could see, look at my hands. And actually, you know, what I would normally do with my hands, I get a file and I have to file down, because they're raised and people think they're freckles. And I just really felt, no, what actually happened was about 5 weeks ago, I posted a video on TikTok, and I was just casually drinking a cup of tea out the back, and I just, you know, I was feeling a bit down, and I just said, I just wanted to bring awareness about the sun, because it was a beautiful day, and just to remind people to be more mindful of their usage while being out in the sun.
We've seen it the last 3 days. Like you're spotting the farmers' stands everywhere.
Do you
like
not
it's happening.
sit in the sun anymore?
No.
Totally.
I go out, I'd have a cup of tea. You know, when you're at home, you can jump in and out of outdoors, you know. But when you're on holidays, I haven't actually been on a sun holiday now for quite some time. But even my last one that I was with my mum, and I was given out to, you know, get in out of it, you know.
Because the tan colour that you are now.
Yes. That's mild. This is mild.
But this is mild.
Is
this what's happened over years?
Well, my colour, I love my tan.
So you've got your fake tan on now.
And I'm sorry I didn't start it sooner.
I know.
I wouldn't be in the predicament I am now.
Yeah.
But I have to, with tans are big business now.
They are, yeah.
And spray tans, lotions, mousses, and the formulas have changed. They've advanced so much compared to the 1990s, you know.
And listen, we know that there are nasal sprays, there's injections that we're seeing people using as well. Do you think that the government need to take this a bit more serious and we need to see a ban of sunbeds?
There has been a pattern internationally. So there have been some countries who've introduced bans, like Australia. So I think it's definitely something that could be advocated for to protect people, you know, because the damage is being done. There's good legislation to protect minors. You know, it's illegal for under 18s to have sunbeds, but I'm still seeing it a lot. So there could be a little more intervention there.
I was talking to a young one in a shop and she didn't feel right because she hadn't had her sunbed that day. This is only a few months ago, you know?
Is it up there with smoking?
Absolutely. So the World Health Organization classifies sunbeds as carcinogenic as tobacco or asbestos. So it's really a really strong cancer-producing machine. So it's really very dangerous.
And again, we always think in Ireland, and we know there's people of various skin colours in this country. For white people, we always think because we're Ireland and it's crap. It's not. We've got a really high rate of melanoma.
Yeah, because of our skin type at baseline, we're already at increased risk. A lot of us being fair-skinned, freckled, etc.
I'm not used to much sunshine.
No. But Kerry-Ann, I'm assuming you're saying please don't get on those blooming things.
Well, what I would say to anyone who is thinking about doing sunbeds, and I think it's an important statement to say, tan fades, damage doesn't.
Good woman,
Yeah.
good woman. That's amazing. Filing down your hands.
Kerry-Ann McDonald, thank you so much for
Thanks so
coming in
much.
and coming on and sharing your story as well. And Dr. Isabel Hughes, a dermatologist, as ever, great to have you with us as well. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Lots more to come on Ireland AM. See you shortly.